channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I would love it if you could subscribe, and if you're already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So I finished work now, I've had my food, I've had my tea, and I'm ready to film a few more videos. So I'm batch filming at the moment because it's just got really crazy again with just everything. So whilst I've got some time, I'm going to batch film some videos, and I'm also behind on some videos as well. So my project pan ones I'm behind on. So I panned that palette for my face palette and my eyeshadow palette, and my 111 palette went up on Thursday, and this video will be my project pan. So this is my 9th update for my project pan, and I'm getting to a point now where I'm just not going to start rolling stuff in. We're in October, I've got 2 months. I'm most likely not going to be able to finish products in 2 months, especially with the stuff I've finished. So getting on to that, I have managed to finish 1.5 products. So you must be like, 1.5, what do you mean by that? So last month I put in a primer, so I put 2 minis in, and to me that equaled 1 primer, and I said I wasn't going to replace the primer until I finished both of them. So I've managed to finish one of them but not the other, so that's why I'm saying 1.5. The one product I have finished, I am so excited to talk about with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about it in the order that I have them written down, because I have my book. First thing we have is the Skin Chemist Rose Quartz Youth Defense Lip Plump. Just to note as well, I have my main light on, it's dark outside, so if the lighting's not great, that's why. So I am still using this. As you can tell, this is definitely not going to be done by the end of the year, because I would say I'm about halfway. Now, the way I measure this is by taking this out and letting it settle, and that is where it settled. So I'm about halfway through it now. This is definitely not something I would repurchase. I noticed no difference with it, if I'm honest, but I want to use it up. And like I said, it's not going to happen this year, but that's fine. At least I'm using it. So I used this 12 times since the last update, so not too bad. Like I said, not something I notice a massive difference with, but I'm happy to be using it nevertheless, because otherwise it would just sit in my collection. Okay, so the next things were the primers that I was referring to. So these were the 2 primers. They're both by Illamasqua. Now they are 2 different primers. One of them is the Beyond Veil and the other one is the Hydra Veil. The Beyond Veil is the one I'm still currently using. I don't have a lot of it left, so this will definitely be one that I will have done by the next update. What I will say is I'm filming this a little bit later than what I would usually film it. So I usually film the update for this on the 15th of the month. It is now the 19th. I've just not had any opportunity to film it, so I have used this a little bit more, and I have noted it down for next update. So I should have this definitely done by next update, but this is the one that I finished. So this is the clear one. The texture of these are just so different. They are literally like jelly. So as you can see, this one's completely empty. They're like jelly, and it's not really a texture that I think I usually would like to go for in a primer. They are hydrating. This one has a little bit more of a glow, which you know is exactly what I like. I can't see myself repurchasing these though. I got these in 2 different beauty boxes. I just can't see myself repurchasing them. If I were to get a full size in a box, I would definitely use it, but just the texture of this for me, which I mentioned before as well, is just not a fave. The Hydra Veil one, I used it 11 times and then I finished it, and this one I have used twice. So like I've mentioned, I have used it a little bit more, but since I did stop the cut off for this on the 15th, so from then I used it twice. I'm not going to be putting anything in replacement of this one, because like I've said, even though there's 2, they come as one. So once I finish this, I might look at replacing. Potentially, that's another thing I want to talk about, because we are getting so close now to the end of the year. I think I'm going to put a hold on, if I finish something, replacing it and putting something else in, because like I mentioned, realistically we're just not going to be able to finish the products in 2 months, unless of course, like I say, it's a little mini or something like that. But I think what I'm going to do now is anything in any of my projects, if I finish them, I won't put anything new in. and what I will do is I will just start afresh again in the new year. Anyway, off on a tangent, I've got one of those primers left to use, but should have that done by next update. The next thing we have is foundation. So this is the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. So I don't know where I am at with this because of the packaging. I can't see through it, so I haven't even been able to mark it either. I don't like this foundation because I find if I touch my face or if I wear my glasses, because I wear glasses all day, I have to wear them all the time, apart from, like, you know, if I'm filming like this, sometimes I can get a reflection, so I try not to wear them when I'm filming. But if I put my glasses on my face, or if I touch my face or anything like that, I just find it just smudges and it transfers, and I just, even with powder, it still transfers, so I'm just not a massive fan of this. And I did used to like it at one point, but I think that was when I wasn't using it consistently. Like, I've been using this every day since it's been in this project. Not a massive fan of that. I feel like foundations have come on a long way, and I'm guilty of touching my face a lot anyway, but for someone that wears glasses, it's annoying. But I mean, to be fair, no matter what foundation, I always seem to have the lines there from where my glasses sit. I've got other foundations in my collection that when I touch my face, it doesn't transfer or move the foundation. So yeah, not overly loving this, but I've used this 5 times. To be fair, I haven't used makeup a huge amount. There's been some weeks where I might have worn it once because I've just have not had time to put it on. So I have used this a few more times since the 15th. This will definitely be done by next update. I think I might have one use, if that, out of it. I'm really struggling to get anything left out of it now. So this should definitely be done by next update, which is exciting because then that's another foundation done out of my collection, which I don't know how many foundations I've finished. What I'm going to be doing at the end of the year is all the makeup that I finished in 2021. I'll be doing a video on it to go through each of the categories and what I've used up and the tallies. So I'm really excited to see how much I've used, because whenever I use a makeup product, I put it in a box, and I haven't even looked in that box all year. So I'm excited to see from each category how much I've used. So that'll be really good to have another foundation out. Okay, next thing we have is my concealer. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I think I'm at the point now where I can take the stopper out of this. Product's still coming out on the wand, but I'm finding I'm having to keep dipping, and I just feel like there's not a huge amount coming out on the wand. So I think I'm going to take the stopper out of this. I can see some gaps anyway on the outside of this, so I'm going to take the stopper out of this and hope that I don't regret it, because the last time I took the stopper out of something, it just leaked and I had to sand it up on the side. So fingers crossed it doesn't do with this. I used this 8 times last month. So I mean, I've spoken about this a few times, but if you haven't watched any of my Project Pan videos before, it is really good for the price. This is less than £5, and I've been using this concealer pretty much nearly all year. So for the price, it's a good concealer, but to me, just not my favourite. And my sister actually gave me another one of those in a different shade, so I have another one now. The next thing is the product I finished, and I can't even tell you how excited I am. I finished my Hoola bronzer. I'm so excited to have finally finished a bronzer. This is my first ever bronzer in my collection that I have ever finished. And it's an achievement because I have had this for a lot of years. I don't even want to tell you how long I've had it because you will judge me. But I've had it a lot of years, and throughout the years I've used it a lot. But it was only since, I believe, last October when I first started my Project Pan that I was actively panning this, and it's taken me pretty much it's taken me a year to completely finish it. So this is what it looks like now. As you can see, there is nothing there. There's just nothing more satisfying than just seeing pan. There really isn't. So I did have to repress it again. What I'll do is I'll put a picture up here of what it looked like last update. So I did repress it a couple of months ago, and I found that it still was okay. The texture was a little bit more crumbly, I would say, but it still looked the exact same on my skin. And I did have to repress it again because my brush just wasn't getting to like the outer edges, and yeah, I've managed to completely finish it. That is an achievement, and I am just so happy to have finished a bronzer. So I used it a further 9 times before it was completely done. And with regards to this, I wouldn't get this again. When I first got this, this was the only option for Hoola by Benefit. They didn't have the light, they didn't have the caramel, they didn't have toasted, I think it is. They didn't have all of those different ones, they just had this one, so that's how you know how long ago it was. For my skin tone, because I'm like Casper the Ghost, I'm very pale, I much prefer Hoola Light. It works for my skin tone better. So if I were to buy another one of these, it would definitely be Hoola Light. But I'm just so happy and so impressed that I've finally managed to finish a bronzer. Okay, so next thing we have is my NARS blush in Orgasm. And once again, I feel like a broken record with this. This just looks the exact same to me as what it did. I don't know if it's gonna focus, fingers crossed it does. Again, I'll put a picture of what it looked like last update and what it looks like this update. I'm not gonna do that with this because you can see it's empty, but I will, of course, like I said, put a picture of what it looked like last update. I feel like I'm not making any progress on this, and I can't tell if that is just because the brush I'm using isn't firm enough. I use the Real Techniques blush brush because I find it makes my blush look lovely on my skin. It isn't harsh, and I don't know, but maybe it's just because it's more of a fluffy brush that it's not picking up a lot. My goal is to just hit pan in this anyway. This is definitely not to finish it at all, because I mean, I would never finish a blush. I think I introduced this in July, I think. It wasn't at the beginning, so I haven't been working on this all year, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to hit pan. I don't think I'm going to hit pan on it by the end of the year, which is a shame. I like this though. I like this blush. When you put it on, it can also act as a highlight as well because it has a little bit of gold to it. I used this 12 times last month. This one I think might be something I won't be able to achieve, which is a shame, but you know what? That's fine. I like it. I might be able to reintroduce it maybe at some point next year again. I don't know what I'm doing at the moment with regards to what I'm going to be introducing in January for my project pan. I'm definitely going to be doing my project pan next year as well, because this is just something I really enjoy doing. It's just for me making the decisions on what other projects I want to do. But for this one, I know I definitely am going to be doing it. I just don't know what products I'm going to choose yet. Whether I put that blush in starting next year and try and hit pan on it, I don't know. We will just see. Make that decision then. Next thing we have is a product that's been in, I think, from the beginning, and I think I'm just getting a little bit bored of it now, if I'm honest. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand in Spotlights. This has been something that I thought would have been done months ago, and it is just a gift that keeps on giving. It literally just has so much product in there. Now what I will say is there is a lot of air bubbles in here, and I thought I was going to have this done a lot earlier than what I have. I've squeezed it one last time and I think that's it now. I have tried to squeeze every last little bit out of it that I can, and I believe that this is it. So this is what it looks like. After this, I'm not squeezing it again. Like I said, I've used this nearly all year. I can't remember, was this in the beginning of the year? I want to say it was. So I've been using it all year, and I just want to use some other ones now. This is also messy, I find, so when I apply it, I take my finger and I touch the end of it and apply it to my face like that and then apply it. So I always have to have something on hand to wipe my hand afterwards. I think it's just because I've been using it so much that I'm now just getting a little bit bored of it and I want to use something else. So I use this 5 times. So I don't use this when I go into the office because I just find I don't have time in the morning to be messing around with this. So I've used it 5 times, and I think I'll be glad when that's done now. I mean, it is a nice product. I'm wearing it today. I pretty much wear it in nearly every video that you see me in. It is a nice product. It is. And if I wasn't using it every single time I did highlight, I think I would have a different opinion. But I think when you use makeup for so long, I think you can start to just want to try some other stuff, and then you start to maybe be like, oh, I'm not sure now, I don't really want to use it anymore. And that's nothing against the product, because like I said, it's a lovely product. I'm just getting bored of it. So yeah, if that is not done by the end of the year, then I'm just going to not put it in my project next year and just keep it until I have finished it, maybe use it outside, but just not every single time. Okay, next thing we have is my setting spray, and this is the Pixie Glow Mist, and this is where we are at now. So that was where we was at last update, and we are here now. I should have this done by next update. I say this every single time. I don't like the smell of it, but I love what it does to my skin. It adds that glow to my skin, which, if you know me, I absolutely love anything that's glowy, anything that is dewy. I have really dry skin, so I need something that's going to add that hydration and just make me look glowy. So I do like this, just the smell of it for me. And I also I have to find that I have to keep my eyes closed and just like waft it for like a minute, because if I open my eyes, I just feel like sometimes it stings my eyes a little bit. That's just me, and sometimes I can choke on it as well. But no, I do enjoy it, and I used it 12 times since the last update. That should definitely be done by next update. Okay, the next thing we have is my Primark lip liner, and I've decided, well, I haven't lost it. I think I just threw it in the bin. It got to a point with that lip liner where it just wasn't sharpening anymore. It was just sharpening weird. It kept breaking off all the time, and I don't know what happened to it. It wasn't usable anymore. Every time I sharpened it, I just felt like I was sharpening, and it just was not working. Now, I don't know whether it's the sharpener that I got a new sharpener, so I don't know whether that's the case, because for some reason I've misplaced my original one, and I have no idea where it is. So I don't know whether it's that. I need to test it on some other ones to see, but I have just thought, you know what, just get rid of it. So I did use it a further 8 times, but yeah, I'm just taking that out of this project now. And last but no means least, we have my lipstick. So this is the YSL Rouge Volupté Shine in number 48. It doesn't have the name, but it does have the number. Because we have to wear masks now, and well, you don't have to, but I do still. This is not a lip product for wearing masks with. This is a product that just doesn't stay on the lips. It's kind of glossy, so when you wear a mask with it, it is just going to get absolutely everywhere, and it's most probably going to get all over your face as well. So this isn't the perfect one to wear if you know you're going to be wearing a mask. It also doesn't last a huge amount of time, considering it's YSL. It doesn't last a lot. I had to reapply it about 3 times one day, and that was when I was away for the weekend. So it doesn't last a long time. If you're wearing a mask, it's going to get all over your face. But the colour of it is just so beautiful for this time of year, and also the smell of it. I can't describe what the smell of it is. It smells like a food. It just smells amazing. So I still have quite a bit of that left, and whether I'll be able to use it or not, I don't know, because as you know, I am still trying to actively finish another lip product. I'm nearly there. I'm like very, very close. But I did use this 4 times since the last update, so I'm really happy with that. Just not a lipstick I'm going to gravitate towards if I know I'm going to be wearing a mask, because that is not the one for it. It'll just get all over my face, and I don't want that. So that is my update for my Project Pan. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and it means the world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. And I would love to know below your thoughts and opinions on my progress and the products I've got in my Project Pan. If you have opinions on them, please let me know below. And until my next video, thank you for coming by. See you later.